Yeah, good to go.
Fantastic. Okay, well, welcome everybody to Nanda Journeys live information meeting to share a little bit with you today about our introduction to healthcare and medical services and systems in Peru with our esteemed and very valuable leader, Rebecca Dean, who you'll have the opportunity to meet here live in a little while. And we also have online from Lima in Peru, we have our wonderful and dear friend, Mariana Watson, who has helped us to create this wonderful itinerary for you. So you'll hear from the three of us as we share the next 30 minutes or so to talk about this wonderful opportunity in May of next year. So first of all, let me thank you for being here. I know that everybody's time is precious. Our days are very busy. And we certainly appreciate you being here to learn a little bit more about this opportunity to travel to Peru. So I'd like to share with you a little bit about what we'll cover in this next 30 minutes or so. So we anticipate that we'll spend about 30 minutes talking about the program. We'll introduce you to Rebecca, we'll introduce you to Nanda Journeys, what we're about and who we are. We'll give an overview of the itinerary as well, talk about the program highlights, the benefits of traveling on a Nanda journey and why we believe we have a unique opportunity for you. And of course, we'll talk about why Peru. It's really important that we have Mariana here today. Her passion will shine through when you hear from her in a little while about why she's excited to welcome you all in Peru. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about how to register if you have an interest in joining us on this unique program. And there'll be time at the end as well for you to ask any questions. And we're all available for an extra 30 minutes or as necessary as the meeting evolves. So I would like to preface this by saying this is a new way of introducing our programs to the world. So bear with us for any technical glitches. Thank you for helping us navigate what I hope will be a regular appearance for us in talking about these wonderful opportunities. So please bear with us. If we have any little snags along the way, we'll all work together to get us back on track. So please allow me a minute or two just to share a little bit about Nanda Journeys. And some of you will be familiar with Nanda Journeys. Some of you are new to this opportunity, and thank you so much for coming on board. I call everybody our Nanda family, whether you've traveled with us or not traveled with us, considering travel with us, just want to ask a travel question. You're part of the Nanda family. We're passionate about travel, and our tagline is travel for people with purpose and passion. So we offer theme-focused educational journeys to global destinations that speak to people's interests. We aim to bring together people with a purpose and with a passion to really connect in a meaningful way when we travel around the world. Some of our guests today may be familiar with us as people-to-people ambassador programs, and that's really where my journey started. I fell in love with student travel, with professional engagement travel, and when the company I was working for, People2People, closed in 2015, I felt that my world had fallen down. I couldn't think of doing anything other than sharing these opportunities to connect with people in a really immersive way around the world. So as I like to tell people these days, I put my big girl pants on and I decided that we were going to do this by ourselves and we were going to continue to chart the course of continuing these very impactful journeys. So thank you for joining me here, my Nanda family. Welcome to Nanda Journeys. I hope you will be able to join us on this unique opportunity to travel to Peru. The picture coincidentally here is our inaugural journey back in 2015. This is a dear friend of Nanda's, Pam McDougall, and of course we're here in India. And Nanda means joy in Sanskrit. So it was a very purposeful chosen word for Nanda Journeys. I hope you have joy, happiness as you consider your opportunity, travel on your opportunity, and make connections along the way. So what makes us unique? Why are we here talking to you today, and why are we so passionate about what we do? Nanda Journeys seeks to create immersive and authentic experiences, and we don't just throw those words around. We truly mean it. And during the course of this informational webinar today, I hope you will truly get a sense for what it is that we're passionate about, why we support community-focused educational programming. What does that mean? We're people connectors. Really, we're travel specialists, of course, but anybody can get on a plane and anybody can go to another country. What Nanda Journeys seeks to do is provide meaningful opportunities for you to connect with people in your profession and also in their daily lives as you travel to these countries. And in Peru, we have some amazing opportunities that Mariana will share a little bit about here shortly. All of our programs are bespoke. They're tailor-made. We don't have a catalog. You won't go online and be able to peruse a pre-scheduled, choreographed itinerary. Each journey you see is choreographed around the purpose, the mission, and the goals of each an individual program. Rebecca has been so very gracious in collaborating with us on this itinerary to create the mission for healthcare. She's spoken with us at length about what her outcomes, or she hopes how her outcomes will be. So this program has been designed specifically with Rebecca. She is our expert, and she has helped us create this opportunity for you. We travel with purpose, we travel with passion, and we always travel in small groups. We're not flag flying, tour leading, big bus tour operator. We want you to have a really immersive experience when you travel. So for that reason, our groups are on average 8 to 20 people, and we're probably anticipating somewhere between 12 and 16 people for this particular journey. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you today to your leader for this journey, Rebecca Dean. She is the principal of Dean and Associates, and Rebecca has been in healthcare management for over 30 years. She's coming to you today from Fairbanks, Alaska. She'll tell you a little bit about the weather up there, I think, up here in a second. But Rebecca has been on various boards and associations, both in the president and chair capacity. She's a board member of so many different associations over the years. She's highly engaged and very much active in her field. She was the first Alaskan fellow back in 1994 to the College of Medical Practice Executives. Congratulations, Rebecca. And she also is the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient for the National Medical Group Management Association. Rebecca, I hope I got that all right. So please allow me to introduce your next speaker, your leader, Rebecca Dean. Rebecca's going to share a little bit about her past experiences to China, Tibet, Australia, and New Zealand, and share with you why she believes this opportunity to travel with your peers is both profound, engaging, and highly valuable. So Rebecca, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Nicola, and hello, everyone from Fairbanks, Alaska. As mentioned, we just experienced our first snow, and I understand we made the national news with that. So it's true, we're living in white now. And I wanted to talk to you today about my excitement for this trip for Peru. We've been working on this for a number of months to make this vision come true and to be able to offer it. It's going to be a really exciting adventure and learning experience. And I also wanted to share with you my individual passion for travel. I started focused on travel when I was a young child, and reading and rereading and looking at all the fabulous pictures and stories in National Geographic. I determined at that time that travel would be part of my life, and I would be a lifelong learner as I went on those journeys. So as we move forward into this trip for Peru, I'm thinking that I need to share with you that the journeys that I've been on in the past have all resulted in a very collective learning experience. And I've come away with so many personal and collegial and professional career contacts and networks. It's been absolutely rewarding. It's been often the best experiences of my life that lended to my successes professionally as well as personally. As outlined, I've led 5 journeys at this point: China, Tibet, Australia, New Zealand, and Cuba. Cuba during a time when Americans were not allowed to be there on tour as tourists, and we traveled as an educational group only, and we did receive some political oversight during that trip, and that was a little bit unique. Our trip coming up to Peru will not be focused on the political part, but we will definitely be meeting with some of the government groups providing healthcare with healthcare systems. We'll be immersing ourselves in culture, and it will also be a very academic experience. In the past, I've found that these particular delegation journeys have brought to me so many experiences that were unplanned and happened and touched my life and those of many, many others in positive ways. I wanted to share a couple of those with you today. During our journey to Cuba, we were meeting with the Cuban medical healthcare educational systems for physicians, and by chance met with a group of physicians who were the first responders to the major hurricane in Haiti. And after talking with them for an extended period of time, our group came away with such an understanding of how medicine is consistent in the need to deliver urgent and immediate care, whether you have technology, whether you have the equipment. You just need to have the willingness to make it happen. When we were in Cuba, we also had a very good social experience of going to an immensely rural village and sharing dinner with a very small group of villagers who brought potluck meals to us from their homes. And we had an incredibly fun time dancing with the villagers and the children around a campfire and learning from them and them from us. When we were in China on our delegation trip, our group was selected to be the first American healthcare group visiting China to meet with the Chinese Minister of Health. That was an incredible opportunity, and we took away from that an understanding of what we have here in the US and why it's so important that the patient come first. We saw healthcare in China that we would have never anticipated, both in traditional healthcare and in Eastern medicine. Again, it brought about the respect for our delivery of care and the access for most of our patients here in the US. As a lifelong learner, I want you to know that I will give my very best to make sure that our group comes together, creates our own little group culture, and have an outstanding, open trip for us to be able to explore Peruvian history and the Incas, as well as the culture for what's going on right now. I also wanted to invite you to bring along your family, your friends, and include others. This is a trip for all of us who are involved regularly in healthcare, for academics, for those who are interested in healthcare, and for those who want to learn about Peru. There are so many opportunities, both with our delegation and with our guest itinerary. So please come and join me. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone and having a wonderful trip. Mariana has us ready to go. It's safe, it's comfortable, it's a great opportunity if you travel solo. Come and join us. I'm looking forward to it. Have a wonderful rest of this presentation. Thank you, and back to you, Nicola.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And what I love about what you said there is those untold stories. And whilst we have a very choreographed itinerary plan for you, I can promise everybody on the call today that the memories that you will have of those unplanned for moments where we provided an opportunity for you to be in a certain place, but the outcomes are different for every delegation, and the outcomes are dependent on you as participants and what you put into the program. So whilst we are passionately planning for your wonderful journey, it won't go according to plan, and that's exactly fine by us, because we're creating a platform for you to be able to engage, connect. And the reason we call ourselves Nanda Journeys is very purposeful also. A journey should be about your consideration to participate. Is this the right program for you? That's part of your journey, as is the journey itself. But more importantly, and what makes us really get up every day, are the connections you make along the way and what you do with those connections beyond the experience in Peru. They'll become lifelong connections that we know will be invaluable professionally and personally. So thank you for being our leader, Rebecca. We're super excited. So please allow me now to introduce our wonderful third speaker of the day, Mariana.
Hi.
So good to see you, Mariana, all the way from Lima. I've been fortunate to work with not Mariana for 20 years, but with her company. Mariana and I have worked together for almost 10 years now.
Not actually about 5 years.
Just about 5? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we've become firm friends.
Exactly. The thing is that, you have been working with a family company for a long time, 20 years. So we've been doing together, let's say, these purposeful trips for a long, long time. No?
Oh, that's great. So good to see you, my friend. And thank you so much for helping us. I would like to turn the microphone over to you. And I invite you to share with us what you love about your country, Peru, and what you love about the collaboration with Nanda Journeys, and why you feel that has an impact for your local community in Peru. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit about that. And then we'll go on and talk about the itinerary.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nicola, for having me here. Hi, everyone. I'm currently in Lima, where I live, and but Peru, I don't know if you're that familiar. That's why you have to come. But Peru is such a big country, and yes, probably the most let's say popular name around my country is the Incas and Machu Picchu, and they are part of this amazing itinerary. And one of the reasons Peru is a must-do destination on its own. There are so many amazing places and history and connections that you can make. I just wanted to be like super focused on one thing. Yes, we are the country of the Incas. Yes, Peru is important in history because of Machu Picchu and that particular empire. But Peru is a cradle of civilization, and that's something that not many people know. And that means that Peru, let's say in a very simple way, about 5,000 years or more ago, Peru was one of the few places in the world, actually 6 places in the world, that had cities, that had like a really complex society. And that the main reason for us to become a cradle of civilization, the same way Egypt or India or China, between a few others, is the amazing landscape we have. From the highlands, the desert, our desert coastline, and of course, 60% of our country is rainforest. And that scenery, all these climate and geographical reasons are let's say, are the most important thing for you to know. And it creates like different environments and different communities that are very different from one another. People from the highlands are different from the people that live in the coast. people that live in their Amazon are different. They have different traditions. They have different things that have to show you. So with Nanda and what we have been working all these years together is that, yeah, we go around Peru in different cities, in different regions, and we see all this amazing landscape. We understand better why Peru is a cradle of civilization. We learn about the history. We learn about the heritage. We learn about how important it is Peru on its own or in its own right. Like what's our place in history around the world, but also because people is the most, let's say, interesting thing of all. When we create together itineraries, Nicola, what we do is creating connections. We go and we go to Machu Picchu, we go to Ollantaytambo, we go to these amazing historical or nature-related sites, but we make connections. We make connections with different people from all around, with different backgrounds, with different ways of seeing life. Some communities, you may feel that they are like frozen in time, and then others have embraced modern life as well, and that's something that not everyone sees in Peru, because you can go around in a fixed itinerary and go to do the major and most important sites, but you don't necessarily get the connection. You don't necessarily go behind scenes in our daily lives. And that's what it's most important for me when we create itineraries together. Mm-hmm.
That's so wonderful. I love that people element. And even though we're creating a program around a very focused professional capacity, so healthcare, yeah, whether you be in healthcare management, whether you're a physician or a nurse practitioner or an RN, or somebody that's involved in the interprofessional connectivity of the healthcare delivery system, because we're going to provide opportunities for people to connect with people in academics, in the government, in clinics that are in rural and in urban settings too. So I think that's the exciting thing about it, is people coming together. But also, don't you find, Mariana, the people that are connecting from the US also, they're learning so much from each other? And Rebecca, you've probably seen that too.
Absolutely, because it's these connections. The thing it works with people is that you connect and you have these interactions, and yes, of course, you learn each other. And sometimes we forget how transformational a journey or a trip can be for both ends.
Yes, and that's
not
an
about who goes
element
around.
Yeah, it's about that interconnectivity and that sharing of knowledge. And it's just not what our travelers will get from the experience. It's what we're also giving to the community. And that's a perfect segue to go on and chat a little bit about the itinerary. So thank you for that.
No, thank you.
So Mariana and I are going to take just a few moments now to talk about the highlights of the journey. To our guests joining us today, again, thank you. We have shared in an email the itinerary in detail and a link to the website. And we're going to focus a little bit on the highlights here. But of course, we can follow up in more detail if there's a specific area of the itinerary that appeals to you, if you have questions. Please know we're your family now. We are your Nanda family. So questions are welcomed, and we love the interaction. So Mariana, if you would take a minute or two just to talk about the cultural highlights. So whilst we create our programs around the iconic locations, it's not really what we focus on, but we're not going to miss it, right?
No, and I think it's part, all these places that we are going to go into the cultural side gets you to understand better where you are. Because with the places that we're going to visit in Lima, in Cusco, in the Sacred Valley, and of course, Machu Picchu, and even the Larco Museum is a place to understand, to have an overview of the country and understand how everything fits in on time. Because at the end, all this history and all this heritage that we have, and we will go and visit archaeological sites, museums, you name it, are really an important part of who we are, and how this, let's say, and the challenges we face as a country as well. So it's not the focus of the itinerary, but it is indeed absolutely relevant.
Foundational for getting to know
Exactly.
the country and its people.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, thank
Absolutely.
you for that. Tell me a little bit about the central market and how exciting that is.
That's part of going, let's say, besides the Inca Trail, let's say. No, but we will go into the central market, and it's fun because the central market, what you get from the market is, again, Peru is a huge country and so many regions that give you all kinds of produce, okay? Because we have all different climates. So when you go to the market, it's like actually going through all the different regions to understand much better the climates, because again, you can't understand how many varieties of climates and geography we get that in the market. I don't know about you, but I love when every time that I go to somewhere else, I try to find the central market of each city, to understand if it's the same that I have it in my place, what's the variety, and to just go into one-to-one with the caseras or the people around the market that will get me, I don't know, that piece of information on what that's fruit or what, because this is a farmer's market actually. So I think it's one of the most important things. Yeah.
Fun energy. And of course, we'll have a privately guided experience of Machu Picchu. And in addition to that privately guided experience, you will also be assigned your in-country guide. And we're very hopeful that our dear friend Daniel will be available for this tour.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. He's in charge again. I know.
Yes, that's exciting. For our guests that are joining us today, Daniel is, he kind of coined the phrase the Nanda way for us, having kind of bore witness to what happens on these journeys. And he's an advocate for these kinds of experiences. Daniel leads many programs in Peru, and he is a wonderful gentleman, family man, Peruvian that loves his country. So you'll get to meet Daniel, who is busy showing off his wonderful country to other people right now. So So let's talk a little bit about the professional highlights a little bit. I think it'll be important for our guests joining us to know that we will be seeking 8 CME credits for this journey. So it will be an accredited program. Rebecca will, of course, be a significant piece of that and helping you guide the learning outcomes. And we will finalize our professional meetings a little closer to travel, and that's purposeful. It isn't because we couldn't do it or don't want to do it, but we want to ensure that you, our delegates, our participants, we're covering the topics that are going to be most important to you. So we will go and explore academia, pathways to academia and healthcare. We will be going to clinics and hospitals and engaging in rural and in urban communities. And we will get a government speaker if that's relevant to the learning outcomes of our attending delegates. We will get biographies from you. We will also seek to learn from you. What do you hope to learn when you're traveling, so that we can finalize the final professional content around you, our participants. So we'll also explore what is very important in Peru and foundational in Peru, which is the naturalista medicine. And it's still very much practiced in daily life. So you'll hear a little bit about herbal medicine, plant-based medicine, how that's delivered in the communities, both in modern and in the more traditional settings, I would say, Mariana.
Absolutely. Here, again, remember we were... with the variety of climates and geography that we have, plant-based medicine is a big thing here. And so we're going to meet professionals on that field that will give you all the information needed, and even your curiosity with some names of things that you haven't heard before, but they are used in our daily, it's our daily medicine.
Yeah, that's great. We're very excited about that particular piece of the program. And then, of course, we have the Olante Tambo. I did it. Yay.
Yes, you did. Perfect.
The rural clinic, and it's very dear to Nanda's heart. It's one of our community partners, and also Culture Peru. The reason we choose them as our travel partner, they care about their community members. They care about the people they do a lot of unspoken work in this community to support them so that they stay consistent to helping them advance. And that's a perfect partner for us. We're about community engagement, supporting them where we can financially, with donation supplies or with education. It's very important to have a conversation around education and need. So thank you for making that opportunity. And talk to us a little bit about those unique elements that really are at the heart of what Nanda hopes to achieve on this particular program.
Absolutely, absolutely. In the itinerary, there are certain moments that are planned, certain days and activities that are planned for you to go, let's say, behind the scene. No, I know you have this focus on the professional focus, and yes, we're going to go to the major archaeological and historical sites, but we have this amazing day in Cuyuni community. Cuyuni is a highland community that is like an Andean community that is like not really that close to, so it's going to be a full day, but we're going to go into the mountains to meet a community that's still, like, I will not say it's frozen in time, but it's not. Yeah, we're going to go and see how happy they living in the environment they live in, because the region is amazing, and we will learn firsthand on their traditions that they are really super proud of, and we will learn how they cook specific meals that are, again, daily life, and maybe it will be bizarre for you, but like a watia, and how to cook potatoes in an oven made of mud, that are delicious. And all these little salsitas that we call like the dipping thing. But we will get to go that behind the scene in a really authentic community that is just so proud to show you, again, their daily activities and to make you part of it with doing from the Watia, which is the lunch we're going to have there, or the Lama Festival, the PU ceremony. So we're going to go further into their beliefs, their way of life. And again, we today are a society that we buy everything. We buy whatever it is. We are a consumer society, but this is still a community that is an agricultural community that is absolutely connected to the seasons, to Mother Earth. Actually, we will have a few surprises on that end to participate in ceremonies that are like super important for them. But again, it's to understand, to take away our minds, our city mind, and connect to a community that is just super close to Mother Earth, and that works respectfully our resources, and I'm sure that it's going to be probably the most emotional day of the whole itinerary.
And also you'll be able to talk to community leaders about access to healthcare.
Yes.
How is healthcare delivered in this community, and how, so it will be a professional and a cultural experience. Yeah.
Absolutely, because once you get there, or once you go around the Sacred Valley or Cusco or different regions in Peru, you understand how the challenges of being in the highlands in remote areas impacts on health. Again,
for sure.
Yeah. Because we have amazing hospitals and amazing, a really good in many ways health system in the big cities, but in those remote places it's just much more challenging, and a lot of education has to be done, and that's why I also think that this people-to-people experiences are, again, a win-win situation to having conversations that are meaningful for both sides, understanding the environment and the challenges that each region may have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think I remember one special delegation. I think it was one of our nursing delegations that took some pediatric cuffs to the clinic, because they did not have access to that particular piece of equipment. So all of those things are the things we don't talk about, but they're highly impactful. But it's just things that we do as a matter of course, and what our delegates do as a matter of course, because they care.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
I think Rebecca.
Yes, I just wanted to kind of jump in here and say that what I've really appreciated on the journeys is not only the things that happened as unscheduled or unplanned, But the fact that we have the type of access like Mariana was speaking to, it's a pathway that you would not normally follow as a tourist. It's not an option that's easily and readily available to tourists. And the experiences have been absolutely amazing to take those journeys like you're talking about into the rural areas where access wouldn't be readily available. So I'm excited about that. I hope everyone listening is very, very interested, because it becomes a once in a lifetime experience, no matter where we're traveling, to have those off the beaten path options to explore together.
Most definitely. Yes. Thank you so much both for sharing. So a little bit about the participation in the program. And we do have a fully inclusive price of $5,999. And that does include your flights from Miami. We'll travel as a group from Miami Airport, but there is an opportunity for you to deviate if you wish, go in earlier, stay longer, fly obviously from your home airport, and Nanda Journeys is here to support all of that. But the price does include round trip flights from Miami. It's May 22nd to the 29th. We are going to stay in beautifully appointed 5-star boutique hotels. Mariana knows we don't necessarily select the international chain hotels for our experiences because, again, we want to support the local community. We want to support local jobs. We want to make sure the profit from any activity we're participating in stays in the local community that we're visiting to foster additional financial stability for the communities we're in. So we'll have 9 days and 8 nights in total. Most meals are included. We have a welcome dinner and a farewell dinner at a minimum, several other dinners, and your breakfast and lunches. And then there's an opportunity to extend your time in Paracas. And we're not going to spend much time on that today, but as a follow-up, we're certainly happy to chat about that with you and share with you the wonderful region of Paracas and why we recommend adding it to your journey. So why travel? I think we've hopefully touched on most of these points here, but you're engaging with like-minded professionals from across the US, but also in Peru. Also, it's a learning opportunity. I call it conference on steroids because you're talking to each other in coordinated activities, but really talking across the table with each other as you have dinner or meeting people in their daily lives. It's a constant momentum of learning. You'll learn about cultural diversity. And of course, that's really important for us here back in the States in our daily lives and in our work, because that just makes us better participants in our local community. Cultural diversity is obviously something that we all experience in our daily lives. The more we know about other international cultures, the better community members we can be back home. Imparting your knowledge, sharing your knowledge and your access to resources is so important in these rural communities. But even in Lima too, connecting with your peers, learning about tools and advancements and programs that you each might not have heard about to further healthcare in your local community and in Peru. Earning those CME credits, of course, makes it also a tax-deductible opportunity. And you could maybe apply for funding to your place of academia or your place of work. Because there is a professional nature to this program, it is tax deductible as a reasonable and necessary business expense. And that's small group size. We expect this to be 12 to 16, certainly no more than 20. So you can rest assured that it will be small, intimate experience. And again, by participating here, you're supporting the cultural heritage of Peru. You're creating financial freedom for those local communities we're going to visit, because of course we are contributing to their community and helping them to be financially stable. And I think one of our past delegates kind of summed it up for me in terms of what people say and why do they take a Nanda journey. because it gives you an opportunity to follow your passion, whether that be your work passion or whether that's another passion you have, while making a sustainable difference in people's lives and the places that you visit, and allowing you to be able to grow both professionally and culturally. It's a life-changing experience. And as many of our delegates say, they can't wait to do it again. And we're very fortunate to have a very, very high return rate of our alumni. And we're very grateful to them for that. And our Kind Words program is our testimonials. So each quarter we donate $250 as a thank you to our delegates for sharing their experience with us, but also thanking our community partners around the world, of which the Ollantaytambo Medical Clinic is one of our community partners that we have contributed several times now. It's been a popular vote with our delegates for our Kind Words program. So if you'd like to join us on this journey, we're connected, of course, via email. Please email info@nandajourneys.com. There is a $500 non-refundable deposit, but if for any reason, and this is not expected, we do not have enough participants, of course, all of your money is fully refunded to you. There's installment plans monthly that are very flexible. We can adapt the installment plan to suit you individually, and final payment is due at 60 days prior to travel. We can include or exclude flights. You can share a room, bring a guest. As Rebecca said earlier, there is a guest itinerary and guests would be most welcome. They participate in privately guided cultural activities while you're in your professional engagements. So if you're in a clinic or you're in a university, your guests will be having fun doing some wonderful cultural activities. You do have to have a passport valid for 6 months. There is no visa required. And as Mariana has shared with me recently, all COVID restrictions have been lifted. Mask wearing was actually something that was still adopted and has just been recently lifted, Mariana, I think.
Yeah,
you were
a couple of
telling me
weeks ago.
earlier.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And I think that'll be an engaging topic of discussion. Obviously, we're very, very, very grateful to all of our healthcare professionals all over the world for their absolute dedication over these last few years. But I think that will be an interesting conversation because the adoption of some of the isolation kind of tactics in Peru were very different than other parts of the world. Their rollout of vaccines was different. So I think that'll be a topic for conversation, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And on this delegation, we're limiting our space to 16 participants. So please come join us. And with that, we kept you a little bit longer than we promised we would, but I just didn't want to miss any of the exciting things that Rebecca and Mariana had to share with you today. So I will invite our guests, if they have any questions at this time, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to have a look and see if we have any questions in our chat. So please, if you have questions, put them in the chat and we would be happy to answer any and all questions. For attendees, thank you so much for being here. Rebecca, thank you for being here. Mariana, thank you for being here. Super excited for this journey to Peru.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and again, if you have any questions specifically for Peru, you have any doubts, any ideas, just let Nicola know, and we will address it.
And I would just like to say that my excitement in aligning with Nanda and Nicola is everything has been flawless. The expertise just leads to the experience that you expect and you anticipate. I don't think anyone would leave the journey disappointed in any way. And I'm an extremely interactive leader and always willing to work with the ideas and pivot on the moment if we need to. Type of adventure, unplanned item that might occur.
That's great. Well, we appreciate that. Well, with that, I don't think we have any questions. Thank you again so much to our guests for being here today. We'll follow up with an email, share the recording for you so you can maybe go back over some of the points that were most interesting to you or gather your questions for us. We do actually have, I almost forgot, the most exciting thing to share with you is an opportunity to save. As a member of our webinar today, we have an exclusive discount opportunity for you. So for the first 5 guests that register, each guest in the shared room will save $250 if they register. And for our solo guests, you'll save $500 in a single room, and that's for the first 5 participants that register after the webinar, and that is a webinar exclusive discount. So please do mention that when you're sending in your registration, and we'll be sure to make sure that you're given that exclusive discount. So with that,
that's a great surprise.
Almost forgot it.
Yeah.
Almost forgot it. Well,
Yeah.
thank you both so much for being here, Rebecca and Mariana. Enjoy the rest
Thank
of
you
your
for having
evening.
us here.
And thank you everybody for hanging in there on this inaugural professional informational webinar. We hope to do more, and we look forward to staying in touch.